the City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 206 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. We're going to call this one Flat. For many reasons, we fell flat this past match. And so we're going to talk about why and break all that stuff down. But we also have so much going on this week. You can't miss it. Portland's coming up right after, right? A couple days here. We're right into it. Back home, at least. And then the Galaxy's on the weekend. So it just keeps on going. There is no time to lick wounds here. You got to keep moving. So that is what this episode is going to be about. We're going to get right into this madness. But let me welcome back Tony, Bam, and Jason, LAFC Punk Ariana. Welcome back, Jason.
Nice to be back. I'm not working tomorrow. As I was telling you guys before we went on, my new job now, I wake up at 3 a.m. now. So I listen to you guys on the way as I'm driving around my new job. But I'm asleep when you guys are taping. But Monday nights, I'm off on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays now. So if I'm not working the next day, then I can be on. But if I'm working, there's no way I could be on because I know we go late.
Thank the Lord for the midweek matches. There it is.
Wonderful to be back. I miss you guys. And like I said, I still listen. I don't miss a show. I've been wanting to see Bam's new toy he puts up now. I've been able to listen, but I don't get to watch. So I've been in the car 3:30 in the morning driving, going, man, what's he putting up there?
This guy's got a lot of toys today. They watch. You'll see. It's gonna be Bam madness tonight, everybody. But Jason, happy to have you back on. Of course, we're gonna have you jumping on to do the album of the week in a little bit. Otherwise, here we get into the mix. Bam, how are you, sir? Are you still quarantined? What is going on, man?
Yeah, still locked down. Booked in for my second jab in about a month's time, so 4 weeks now. So I'll be on for my second jab. Had a very long Sunday my time. 3 football games, F1s. It was a long night.
That's a lot of sports for a day. Understood, though. That's a good. Still, as long as the results go your way, it's a great day. If they're not, it's a long day. So
one of the results didn't go my way. F1s, I felt a little bit shattered, and then 2 other results I was happy with.
There it is. Good. That's a nice day off, right? And Tony, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well, as best I can be, you know.
What's this breaking drum thing I'm hearing about?
Oh, Chintolo broke his drum. I don't know what happened. It just he was banging on it and it just seemed to break. So I don't know if it was just like old material or wasn't tight enough. Again, I'm not a drummer, so I don't know how to what the setup
or absolute frustration from the last match, right?
Maybe.
That could be it. Cool. So we are all back on getting into this right away. So of course, what are we getting into? San Jose and what they're up to. So we go up to San Jose. We know we're missing some key players. I know. The big one, of course, always is Atuesta. Missing Atuesta is always going to be hell for us. Like, simple as that. It's going to be trouble. So what was our lineup for this one? Let's break it down. We have Orango and Musovski up top. Cifuentes is more of an attacking midfield role. He's backed up by Janela and Cristosomo. Palacios and Kim are both playing their wing back roles, and your backlines Fall, Murillo, Ibiaga. In goal, Romero. Not a surprise to anyone that this would be the lineup because that maybe Cristosomo, maybe he wouldn't get the start. Maybe, we have 3 options there that could take his role, but it didn't happen. This is what they went with. Bam, any surprises to you on that lineup?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised with Cristosomo's starting again, but besides that, I think it was a fairly decent lineup.
Right, because it could have been Blessing or Duke, right? Like that was the thought.
Yeah.
It didn't happen though. Now, seeing what our lineup was, what did San Jose throw at us?
San Jose decided to throw at us this starting lineup right here. So we've got Mark Lewinsky, Lopez, Alanis, Nathan, Abacassis, Remedy, who to me should not have been playing, Judson, Shofis, Yule, Espinoza, another person who shouldn't have been playing, and Kikanovic. So why those 2 people played, I don't know, because going by all my research, they should have been suspended that last match, but for some reason they got off it and was able to play this match.
Yeah, it was a little fishy, honestly. Because if you look at the rules, the rule book says pretty obviously. But rather than that, I guess one of them got another yellow in this one, so now they're going to be suspended for their next match. Doesn't help us at all, but that's the case. So they were basically a full-strength side. Nothing really missing. We thought they were going to have some weaknesses. They didn't. They had the lineup they wanted for this match. It's exactly what they wanted to go with. In terms of their approach to us, what was your thoughts about their early play and what they were really trying to do out there?
They turned up to play. Which is expected from them, but I don't know. It was another level for them. For me, it was another level. I didn't expect them to come out how they came out.
Yeah, the counterplay wasn't the story, was it? It was
No.
definitely they were going to dictate things. Yeah, it was tough. Definitely a tough vibe for us going in. But you know what? We still had run of play for the most part, you could say. Sadly, though, Tony, it didn't last very in terms of being a level match, did it?
No, not like third minute. Just literally ball heads it to the center. There's a San Jose Earthquake player right there. Traps it, gets it in. Romero has to scramble to get to the ball, and he unfortunately he's a little too late, and it goes in, and we're already down 1-0.
That ball was achingly slow right after that touch. Just you knew nobody that you wanted to get to it was gonna get to it in time. So it's just like this slow moving car accident. Like here it goes, okay, and now they're crashing. Like that's what you could see. Sadly, it came off of Fall's head to start the whole thing. A really odd head towards the middle. I'm not sure what that was all about. Could be just rookie error, but it was an error, a clear and obvious error, which cost us yet again, right? You threw one away. Now we're down a goal. Now San Jose gets to play their preferred style, right? Now they can play the counter if they want to, or just keep hammering you if they need to. They have the options to change it up. And so now you're playing by their rules. Once you fall down, that's how the game plays. Tell us, what's our next turning point for this match, sir?
There's nothing too crazy because it's just like it's Sifu has a chance at the 22nd minute. There's a header chance for San Jose. Luckily, there's nothing that comes of it. 31st minute, we get a free kick, but again, Chicho tries to kick it over, or tries to kick it in, but he kicks it over, unfortunately. And then the 37th minute, Romero has the what I should have thought would have been the save that would have happened in the first goal, but he redeemed himself off that one because it was almost a similar play because he just went in and actually got the ball instead of not letting it go past him.
Yeah, but I don't put on Romero for the first goal. But what do you mean, dude? It was a goofball play. That's what that was. It was a busted play. Honestly, I wasn't too crazy with angry with what Romero was putting out there. It was really our center backs that were failing us. That's what the issue was. And of course, our wing backs just never covering anything. Anybody overlaps is have fun. You're going to get a cross. It's guaranteed cross. If you play LAFC at this time, nobody's stopping you from out there. It's just not going to happen. So, we're left open. We get through the first half. We get into the second half. Well, I say even before that, Musovski, he did have a chance, right? I mean, there was one with Portland. We were giving it to him. It just felt like we were just going watching another game. It was very vanilla as far as I was concerned. Bam, what was your take on the first half?
First half, look, I love Fall. He's a great young player. That goal was on him. It wasn't him. At the same time, though, he's 18. He's going to make mistakes. You know what? Yes, this was a big mistake that cost us an early goal, but he'll learn from this. As long as the rest of the team and the supporters get around him, pulling him back up, he'll be perfect.
Yeah, he can't get it. They can't let this get into his head. He's got to be extremely you'll work on things, but this is more of a quick lesson and move on. You can't dwell. If he dwells, season's toast for him. Like, you just can't get lost in that mix. So tough, but you got to keep going. So we get into the second half, and Tony, how do things break down, sir?
46, and literally the 46th minute, it's like a chaos goal, and we talked about this. Sorry. We talked about this last time, and it's like if there's chaos in the goal, they will put it away, and that's what exactly happened. Moon tried to clear it out, couldn't do it. One of our San Jose forwards were there, and pretty much bang, boom, in, and we're down 2-0.
Yeah, clashing off of everything, bounces all over the place. Again, not protecting the outside flanks. So you let a ball come in with some pepper on it. That's why it bounces around the way it does. And easy finish for Chofis on the back post. Pretty much. There's not much to it. You know, in both cases, both goals, I felt like they didn't earn it. We gave it away. They didn't earn it. They had 2 chances on the day. Yes, they put it in, but I expect anyone to put those in. Any team in this league should put that in. That's simple. If you're a professional getting a contract, you're putting that ball in. It's not anything special. It is all about the guys that gave up the goal in this case. We own everything about this match. Yeah, man.
You don't even need to be professional to put those goals in. If you're semi-professional, you're putting those goals in.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous that you give something so easily away. And that's what kills me about this one. Both goals were junk goals. And you play Portland, junk goals. They're not moments of brilliance. These are junk. These are junk from guys that are disorganized in the back, not fully focused, not following their assignments, and definitely not defending. You know, it's great to have defenders that move the ball, but they got to stop it too. And we're not doing that. It's not happening. So here we are. We have to respond. Do we get a response, Tony? What happens for the rest of this half?
So the only, honestly, this is the good of the whole game for us is 56 minutes. Moots has an opportunity but bangs it off the side of the net, but it was a nice strike. If a little bit more finesse and less power, he probably makes it in. And then the 64th minute, Duke has a chance of the free kick, which is on point on goal. Just he needs to, again, same thing, a little bit same power but finesse and a little bit more finesse, and that goes in as well. And then the last one is the 68th minute. Edwards almost has a goal, but it just goes off the crossbar, and you can tell the frustration that he pretty much had every LAFC fan's frustration on his expression.
Yeah. You know, and I found it interesting that Bob was like, I'm just pulling the plug on this, and the 58th minute just went mass sub. Like, just everybody going, forget this. And I look at who came out, and I can't argue with any of it. I can't. You know, Palacios didn't do the job. Kim Moon-hwan wasn't doing the job. Mm-hmm. He took the right guys out as far as I'm concerned. Who he brought in? Farfan. Okay. Blessing. Okay. Duke. Yeah. Edwards. I mean, people give him all kinds of hell, but honestly, in that second half, the only guy that seemed to be showing any guts for the rest of that half was Edwards. Getting stuck in every chance he got. He hit the crossbar from hard work. You know, before Musovski came off pretty much, it was, he actually had a chance and missed an easy one, but he was there, right? He should have finished it. That was the real story for me, was that chance. Once again, you miss an easy one, forget it. Your game's over. So if I look at this game, it's the player performance. I can't go after Bob when he's actually done the right substitutions in the moment and they're not doing their jobs. It's that simple. So that's where my head's at. Tony, what is your impression, sir?
It's the same thing. It's just there's as much as tactics wise, Bob is the head honcho of this. You can't blame it on this one for this game. Unfortunately, it felt like no one was there. No one was wanting to play this game and just looking forward to. I think they were looking towards Portland and thinking this was going to be an easy game, and unfortunately, it bit us really hard. Moving forward, we have to minimize the mistakes, minimize everything, and just move forward and want to be there.
Right. It's gotta fight. And everybody's making a big shtick about Edwards getting into it at the end of the game. He was going after the ref. Let's be real. And out of frustration, just pretty much told Murillo, dude, back off, man. If I'm in his world, I'm more mad that Murillo's not going after the ref too. Right? What, somebody be angry about something, please. At least he was. Expect more anger. We need more anger. I'm okay with the anger. Bam, your impressions?
Disappointing. We had some good chances. The Edwards off the crossbar, that was a beautiful play leading up to it. The quick 1-2s was beautiful leading up to it. Perfect shot, just a couple of centimeters lower. That's it. Back of the net, done. Yeah, just frustrations. And you could tell it on some of the players. You could tell it on Bob. It is frustrations. There's not much more you can say than that.
Yeah, and comments post-game were the same thing. As we weren't ready. We weren't any of this. Again, nobody seemed prepared, even though they should have been prepared. And all the conversations where they were going to be prepared. But they just didn't show up on the day. Flat. Flat is why we called the episode that, because that's what this was, a flat performance in a time when you cannot afford one. Jason, did you get a good chance to see the game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game, and that was boring, a bad game. My new boss, he texted me during the game, and it was his first time watching an LAFC game. He goes, "Is this team this bad?" I'm like, after the first goal, and I was like, I told him there's injuries going on right now, and like they said, the team they didn't look like they showed up at all. And it's crazy how both goals were scored on header turnovers. And it bothered me that they just weren't up for it. To me, it seems like San Jose gets more up for this game than we do. I don't know if you guys listen to the latest Shoulder to Shoulder podcast, but they have someone from the other team, like San Jose, and he mentioned how they get up for any LA team. It's a Northern California, Southern California thing, but if you've been to Northern California, they get up for any LA versus Northern California, LA, San Francisco, San Jose. They get up for it. And to me, it seems like San Jose, they came to win. They came prepared. And honestly, I mean, I was thinking back to when we took over their stadium. They have not forgot that. Ever since that game, when we go to their stadium, I mean, yeah, they're not as loud as us, but their fans bring it more for us than they do for any other game. I mean, if you watch any San Jose game, if they're playing any other team like a Portland or even the Galaxy or even Colorado, their fans aren't into it as they are when we're there. When we're there, now we started that war, and like I said, San Jose gets up for these games, and it seemed like we were not up for this game at all. And it was, I mean, not even a show. I mean, at least the Portland loss. I mean, we put up a fight in that Portland loss. I mean, I thought we looked well in the Portland loss, even though it was a loss, but we put up a fight. We just had a couple of missed chances, but this game, there wasn't even any chances. It was very frustrating to watch. And then when you get somebody, hey, you got to check out this game. You got to watch this game. And then that's the game they watch. You're like, so my new boss was talking to me again today about it. He goes, man, what's with your team? I'm like, they're not always like that. You know, it's like, trying to defend your best friend,
Yeah, I mean, they're lost in the woods right now, right? And then we are missing a lot of critical players. And I want to call it an excuse, but that is the reality, that we're missing critical players down the spine. Our DPs are all out of commission. It's all bad things. If you have any other team in this league in the situation we're in, they're getting smoked every week. It's not even a battle. It's not going to be close. Teams with all their DPs are getting smoked right now as the playoff race kicks off. We're getting lucky with the results we're getting. I got to be honest, seeing what we've got out there now. We don't have the roster we need. This is MLS. It's notorious that once you get past 13 players, it's runarounds. There's not much there. We're there. We're deeper than that. Who's playing in this lineup now? So it's tough. I'm going to throw this one out to everyone else. Let's see the comments from the rest of the gallery. Are faithful. Let's see here. Let's moving up here. So Louis V, welcome to the show, sir. Jason, welcome to the show as well. Jason Lemus, always on here. Junior. Wow. Junior says, and this is Junior. Our Junior says, only LAFC team with cohesion happens to be the Heart of LAFC podcast. There you go. Love it. LM Marquez, the Smurfs. Yep. Never let the Smurfs get away. Jason Lemus, I didn't understand carrying 3 goalkeepers. Romero starting with 2 goalies on the bench made no sense to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if those guys are going to get play time, if they're insurance. I just don't know anymore at this point. It's just hard because you want to have cohesion in the back. You don't want to try new things out in a playoff race. And I think that's where we're kind of stuck in. It's odd, but that's where it's at. Jason also says 2 missed opportunities, more missed opportunities in the theme this whole effing season. Moose should have scored. Edwards should have scored. Yeah, I mean, Edwards hit the crossbar at least. Moose, he was hitting it into another town. Again, just like last game, not getting the job done, and that's why we are where we are. You finish your chances, you move into the playoffs. You don't, you watch it on TV. It's that simple. Jason Fall is a young kid. He cares about the team. He broke down after the final whistle. It shows he cares like we do. I just need to pick him up. That's all. Short, pick him up. Chavez, these mistakes are getting so old. Same players making same mistakes over and over. Here's the problem, though. We don't have anybody else. Right? This is who we got. There's no new faces coming in. It's after the trade deadline. This is who you got. Our guys on the bench were Blackman, the goalkeeper, and Harvey when this was all said and done. I don't think there was anybody else. That was it. Moving forward, let's see. Peter, I believe this team needs more playing time together. Then there'll be more chemistry. Jason says, I don't understand Cristosomo starting, in my opinion, rather than having Duke. I would have preferred Duke as well, Jason. I agree with you on that. Marvin,
I think we all agree with that one.
Yeah, we all agree with that. Marvin says, I don't think these depth players are high enough caliber to get us far. I don't blame Bob, but you can only do so much with what you have. If anything, blame Thornton for creating this squad. I blame injuries. I blame all these other guys not being available. Vela not being available for like pretty much most of the season. Atuesta being hurt at a critical time. What's he going to do? But we're here. We're missing our critical components, and not much you can do to build past that. Too much experimental youth. Yeah. I mean, choices, right? Don't care if it's his philosophy. We need more balanced squad. Bam, you want to jump in?
Tony had his hand up, so.
Tony?
All I was going to say was that it's hard to build a high caliber even on your bench with the limitation of anything that we have, because once we quote unquote sold Rossi or loaned him out, we don't have DP money to use it to get somebody else. Unfortunately, the Gam and Tam, we used it to get Chicho, and that was the only big player that we could sign at the moment. And now it's just kind of getting at the bottom of the barrel of like who is promising at the moment, and that's what we have to deal with. It's not like every other league where you can just literally handpick players and give them the bag and easily get your caliber in the bench. It's not like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't buy your way out of problems in MLS. There's a salary cap. There's restrictions. You're stuck. You have it. The deadline happens. You're stuck. There's not much you can do, except hopefully be healthy. That's what you get, and you get your young kids. It's really tough, and most teams don't even have decent players after the 13th man. That's the reality of MLS still today, and now we're in it. We're feeling it now because we're going deeper than that to stay alive. We had one match with 18 guys or something, 8 guys out. It's nuts. It's nuts. Jason says Mike D started the war. Yeah, he did. Carlos C, the team has given up so many goals this season when the backline tries to play a pass instead of just clearing out of trouble. Yeah, so many players messed up doing that this year. You say, but that's how they're coached. I mean, I don't think anybody coaches a turnover in their half. Like that's just, that's on focus for the most part. That's the player situation. So now you have to look at now and go next year. You need to replace them if that's the case. But you don't coach turnovers. They got to do their job. They're paid to do a job. Carlos C, agree, Marvin. Need more balanced team in spite of the philosophy. We'd have one if we had healthy players, but yeah, I think there's gonna definitely be changes at the end of this season, no matter what we do. Probably more drastic if we don't make the playoffs. Mark Lopez, how far are we from the salary cap? Well, we're the 3rd highest paid team in the league. That's reality. We're close to it, and we're limited right now on international players. I don't think we have much left on that in that department now. So who you're going to get is a domestic maybe, but it's too late now. You can't buy anybody right now. We're stuck. Somebody under contract, they're under contract. You can't move. You're after the trade deadline. So that's the issue now. Marvin Chavez, I get the MLS restraints, but we're sitting on a lot of GAM from Mac and Baird sales. Chicho didn't take the GAM, and the depth is not all equal. We signed too much youth. We need MLS experience on the pitch. We would have had it if the deal for Rossi would have gone earlier. Then we would have had an opening, but it didn't. It waited too long. It took too long to finish up. I know that already, but there's not much you can do. That's the bad part. Peter says, if this is the team we're going to the playoffs, I'd rather not qualify. And if you don't qualify, you get a higher draft pick, but you know how useless those have been. I think we've traded most of those away next year anyway, so we're not going to get much out of that anyway. Carlos C says, would they though? If they go after fullbacks, we don't defend only attack. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with the situation out of the back, and I think maybe system might be a roll out of this. You got to talk about system too, but you got potentially 5 when you're defending. That's protecting weakness in many cases, but yeah, things have to change. That's for sure. And of course, you can't forget that Segura and Blackman normally would be back there saving us right now, and they're not available. So put Blackman and Segura with those guys, and it's pretty secure. It just is. That's the reality of it. Is we're missing key components, and you don't have the money to replace them. You don't have the cap space to replace them. So you're trapped, and you have to get the best out of what you've got. And in this case, it's the youth. Have shown promise, but there's inconsistency because they're young. Right? And that's where I'm at. Bam, what do you think, sir?
Yeah, as I said from the get-go, we're a selling club. They want us get the youth players in, train them up, and sell them. At the moment, I think we're going in the right direction with loaning out Rossi to Fenerbahce. We'll talk more on that a bit later, but it's a business to a lot of the higher-ups. They're thinking the business-wise. Majority of fans think now on the field-wise. So there's that little bit of thoughts on how the club should be going. And I think that's what's going to hurt us the most.
If you guys can hear me.
Okay.
The sale didn't quite. Yeah. I mean, the sale didn't happen in time, so we got stuck. And that's kind of what I've heard multiple times. But yeah, it needs to be better. It has to be better. We need more experienced players everywhere. I mean, midfield and the center and the spine, we need help. This team needs help. That's for sure. Looking forward, Hooligan Ox jumping on the call. Welcome, sir. Jason, several of the players have gone on social sort of like an apology, feeling the supporters are giving it all. And they aren't questioning does the entire club feel that way? Everything that I get, that I hear from these guys, that I'm hearing from everyone in it, they're pissed. Like they do believe. There's definitely a cohesion, you could say, and it's not happening. They're just not getting the results they need. Honestly, I think it's the skill set with who we have right now. We just don't have the impact players available, and it's killing us outright. Marvin Chavez, I want Blackman over Moon on right back when he gets healthy. I fully agree with you, dude. Moon is turning into an absolute liability right now. He's not playing his way. That's for sure. Bam, you think the same, right?
Yeah. If anything, Moon's more of a attacking midfielder right now. He's playing like an attacking midfielder, just doesn't get back to defend.
Yeah, or an outside mid. If we were playing with a 5-man mid, then I could see him out on that right side, and he'd be okay there. But not as a back. There's no coverage from any crosses from him. He just doesn't do it. Doesn't get the job done. It's that simple. Tony Sanchez says when Mark Lopez is going to be on the show. Hey, Mark could get on. If he wants to be on, he's got to tell me. I'm down to have him on. Come on, brother. Make it happen. Don't totally agree. I don't think having Segura and Blackman in there solves the lax defending of the fullbacks. Blackman covers the right side. That's one. Palacio's situation on the other side, well, you have 2 other guys, and I think Edwards is less of a liability than the others at this point. I know we're not 100% happy with that, but you got to make do with what you have. The left is weak. All three of them have been weak. And you can't replace them out of nowhere. Next year, They could all go at this point. They could all go as far as I'm concerned. That's where we're at right now. There has to be something better on that side. Tony, your take?
It's like I said, there's a lack of leadership, and that you show it. Like, as much as Murillo should be stepping up, he's not, like we call him, Steady Eddie. Like, he commands attention, he commands that back line. If you look at us in the beginning of the season, when we were somewhat, like, of course we were still struggling as always, but our defense wasn't the problem at the moment. You know what I mean? Once Eddie or Segura was there, it was okay. The defense was all right, and with everything we've had, it's just been chaos. Like we always said, there's always someone out of position, someone not there when they need to be, or someone late. And it does solve a lot of what we need with Eddie Segura being there and also Blackman. But again, it's what ifs, miracles, whatever. It is what it is, but it's football.
The bounce of the ball, for sure. Carlos C, going back to a 4-3-3. Honestly, I don't know. It's tough. It depends on who's healthy. That's really where we're at right now. We don't know yet. We'll talk about it as we talk about who's available for the next. But it's tough. Marvin, we haven't had good fullbacks in a while. It's always been one of our weak spots, along with our constant goalie problem. Honestly, you know why I think we are there? And this is philosophy. I'll give you this. I think they're so worried about how players move the ball that they don't think enough about how they defend. I really do think that, oh, look at what you can do. That's great, but what are they going to stop? Like, when are you going to shut it down? And you just seem to be more worried about the other side of things. So that is philosophy, man, for sure. That's an issue. Carlos, I think this season they are snake bit with injuries. We need the veteran presence in the midfield next season. I agree. We need a defensive mid, a holding mid, somebody that can control tempo in the mid with a Tuesta. Again, if we play 5 in the mid, it would be beautiful. I think we'd be fine even with what we have. But, yeah, they need help. Hooligan Ox, the hard question. At this point, is it worth getting into the playoffs? I will say always yes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever want it. It's sucks missing the playoffs. It's a long off season if you miss the playoffs. Even if it's just one extra game, it means something for the players. It's something you can build on. So, yeah, I don't want to miss the playoffs. Bam, what's your take on that, sir?
Definitely, you always want to get playoffs. Now, if I'm correct, don't teams that make the playoffs get a bonus?
Yeah, there's a bonus. There's a gate if you get a home game. But yeah, there's a lot on the line for that, for sure. And the chance for your workers in your stadium to maybe get another game in so they can work another day. So that means something too. All right. Next one, we've got Carlos C. What do you guys think about going to a 4-2-3-1 when we get injured players back into next season? I would love it. I think that would be the better lineup for us. I completely agree with you on that. I think Janela and Atuesta together holding will be fine with Cifuentes above them. On the outside, you could put Moon, somebody else at the right back, please. At the left side, I would have Brian. Brian on the left mid. That role out there, he kills it out there. That's what he can do with Uruguay. I think it would make us stronger. I'd be all for it, dude. I think it would be good for us. Bam, what's your take?
I have a lot of theories on what we'd like to do, but I'm going to save that until after our final game of the year. I think after the final game of the year, we all come in here. Everyone I'm throwing this out to everyone in the chat too. When it's our final episode of the year, I want everyone to give us their starting lineup of 100% healthy players for next year.
Good deal. I like it. What to do next after the season. All right, we're going to move on. Marvin Chavez. So we lost by 2, but why didn't we score? Because we can't make our damn opportunities. That's why. We don't finish. And there's not much you can do. If they don't finish, you're dead. You have to finish your chances. I believe we have, the third highest chance opportunities, but the lowest, conversion rate of anybody in the league. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous at this point. Absolutely ridiculous. It shouldn't be like this, but here we are. And that sits all on the players. What can, a coach can't kick the ball. You pay them in to do a job. If they don't do the job, you have to look for new ones. It's that easy. Jason, right. Always want to extend your season. Carlos, I think B. Junior, you think we win MLS Cup with Bruce Arena? No, we'll win it with Kenny Arena. Oh man, Bruce has got his team all up there. I give him credit. They might pass our record. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, they're gonna win their first supporter shield. They're winning the original.
First time ever for a 96er. Yeah. Mark, at the end of the day, I'm going 90 plus because that's everything I have to offer the squad. Carlos, I think Duke would have generated more offense if he had started. I agree. I think we all 100% agree Duke should have started that game. I don't think there's any question. Right, Tony?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. There's again, Vince posted. Vince actually, it was kind of funny when he posted like what Cristiano's can do, and his passing is really well. But again, Duke was. We need a high energy person, not someone who can set up, and Duke's that person.
We are going to transition now back into the rest of the show. Let's get into some club news with Bam. You got some club stuff, right, sir?
Yeah, just a couple of points from the club from last couple of days. As we all know that we lost one of our youth players, Mark, last year. They've now opened up Tommy's Field, which I believe is up in where was it?
Santa Monica-ish, north.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. Yeah, some on the west side.
Yeah. So that's now open up and running. LAFC also announced they've got a new sponsor, AAA flag and banners. And we've also teamed up with the University of Phoenix and are hosting book fairs and teacher supply giveaways for teachers and students and all that.
Nice. Good stuff. All right. So any other community news, or let's move into the playoff hunt because everybody wants to talk about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that then. So basically, there's two things you want to follow if you're looking for the playoff hunt. One would be 538. The other would be playoff picture. So 538 is giving us, dude, we took a big hit with this loss. They're rating us at a 60% chance of making it into the playoffs now. So we're approaching that 50-50 mark, people, at least according to them. The thing is, they weight our talent level higher than it should be because they're not really accumulating. Well, they're not accounting for the injuries when they show strength of squad. So it's slightly flawed model. Now you have that one and it shows, 60%. Well, you move over to playoff status, which was really accurate for us the last few seasons. And it's been pretty predictable. They've got a much more dire situation here. Chances of not making the playoffs. They're saying a 71% chance we don't make the playoffs. That sounds brutal. That sounds absolutely brutal. Yeah, right.
I mean, right.
That does it. I do too. I look at who's left and who we're chasing, and I can't help but think, yeah, you know what? They are probably onto something here. There's something there. And now let me throw that out. Why they think that? Well, we're at a, so 13% chance we might get to the 7th seed. That's how low they got us. The Whitecaps are 12% chance to make it. Real Salt Lake a 19% chance, Minnesota a 14% chance of going all the way to the 5th seed. So they're saying that the chance for Minnesota to miss playoffs is about 19, Salt Lake 35. The thing is, we're chasing Minnesota and Salt Lake, and they're not like they're they don't exist. They're still putting in their games, and if you look at the way their schedule balances out, it's really hard for us because we have to make both of them tank for us to get in. Pretty much, that's the problem with chasing. You have to rely on other sides to mess up to get you there. But if they do their jobs, you're not going as much as you do. If they do their job, you're not getting in. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's tough. Tony, what do you think's the more stark look, the 538 rosy view or the playoff status?
Probably the playoff status.
Yeah. They'd have to completely turn it around and go on a streak here for us to get the playoffs. We're on the outside looking in. Be real. They can have the rosy picture that you want. You want to promote it. We're going to make it. No, we had these last 2 games. These ones had to happen, and they didn't. So now you're behind the 8 ball. Now I got to prove everybody wrong to get in. So that is where they're at. On a brighter note, before we get into the Portland match, Bam, how did things go at Fenerbahce, man?
Fenerbahce actually had a really good game. This was one of the games that I stayed up late watching. It was 11 o'clock my time, so it was Not a bad kickoff. They had a nice little 2-1 win over Het Support. They had Novak scored in the 29th minute, but in the 17th minute, we had a nice little thing happened. Diego Rossi scored his first goal for Fenerbahce. And it was a nice little flick over the keeper. For those that haven't seen it,
highlight, don't you?
Yes, for those that haven't seen it, that are sitting here, if you're listening, come back onto the YouTube and rewatch this episode. This is what happened.
Cross from the outside and a lovely little dink from the left foot. Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Pays to stick your boot out there, doesn't it?
It's like a Cobra Kai goal, man.
Yeah, it was. That was beautiful. I was super happy to see him do that. We need him to do that because if he doesn't do that, he comes back.
And as much as I want him back, I also want him to go and succeed over there. Keep going. Now, so in that game, he played 85 minutes. Obviously scored in the 70th minute. And his next game is actually 9:45 a.m. Thursday, LA time.
Oh, okay. Not a bad
That game, they're playing Olympiacos in the Europa League.
Ooh, nice. Whose house are they going to be playing in?
Fenerbahce home game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that should be a good game.
Either house would have been good because both have great active. So it would have been fun either way.
I'm wearing the jersey today, so
show them the seal, man. Show them the seal. There it is. Good
it's
stuff.
One from the away days. Those jerseys you just get a random jersey. I got this last year, having no idea that Rossi would be on the team one day. So I wore it in honor of Rossi. So never thought when I got that jersey in the mail over a year ago that it would be the team that Rossi would be on one day. So
it's cool, man.
I'm tempted to get their away jersey. I'm tempted to buy their away jersey because it's nice, dark with a little bit of yellow. So
it's a good kit. The pinstripes, right?
Yeah,
it's like a little bit of striping. It looks good. Tony, club and community, sir. Got anything for us today?
No, nothing.
He's like, nah.
No,
you got a Wednesday match. Focus on the match, right?
Well, there was nothing too much to do it. Like the only one was the announcement of what Bam said was the new banners and stuff like that. But we have a match to focus on, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. Which brings us to the one, the only LAFC Punk Ariano and the album of the day. Of course, this is gonna throw everybody off because yes, there it is. I will move this over. There you go.
Yeah, I had a couple vinyls picked out for my collection, but we all agreed before we came on we were going to do American Idiot by Green Day just because of everything going on. I was tempted to go with like Everything Sucks or just because everything sucks right now, but American Idiot, Green Day, so Green Day,
and the reason what song did we mention why we wanted to go this route?
Was it America? Which
song Wake Me Up When September Ends.
There we go. Wake Me Up.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're there.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
That's why. Yeah. We need this month to end. Yeah. It's been a tough month for us LAFC supporters, but we're true. And the ones that are true, we're still sticking with our team. We still love our team. We still support them. We still support them through good, the bad, the ugly. So that's, anyone who's been a sports fan for any team, it happens. And when we started out, I mean, we were so spoiled as an expansion team. I mean, you look at other expansion teams in the league right now. Look at Cincinnati. Look at Miami. Look at Austin. They are your stereotypical expansion teams. And I mean, we got a supporter shield our second year, and now we are kind of like an expansion team now. So, although a lot of it has to do with injuries, we can't blame. We hate using that as an excuse, but I mean, when you look at our injured list, it's like, wow, man, like we got pretty good players on the injured list right now. But yes, we do want September to end, and when it does, hopefully we can pick it up again in October. I'm looking at the schedule. I think it's our destinies in our own hands. We can't count on, Real Salt Lake losing, or I mean, at least we're not losing to Austin, like other teams down the street.
Yeah.
So that's another team. I mean, it seems like the Galaxy they're not the same team they were at the beginning of the season. And we got them Sunday. I think we got a good chance of finally winning in their stadium this Sunday if we can bring our A game. And we saw what we could do against Kansas City with all the injuries. We can beat them. So I'm confident that we can beat those guys.
Dude,
if Austin can
honestly,
beat them,
right? If Austin can beat them, anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight up. Good stuff, Jason. I know we kind of hijacked a little bit of the vinyl because we had to just make our point of wait a minute when September ends. Usually, I know we get a little more artistic, a little deeper, and a little more vintage in many cases. I'm seeing some stuff like Pennywise from Junior. Hooligans like Green Day of all bands. Yeah, well, Green Day this time. So deal with it. You know what? We'll get a little bit more edgy for the next one as we prepare for Carson. Trust me on this. That one's going to be more legit. We already been talking about it, so we're probably all going to have an album for that one. So be ready on Thursday for that episode. Moving forward, thank you, Jason. Let's get into this mix a bit further here. We are going to look at the Portland run of form so far. So let's bring on Portland because we're playing them on Wednesday at home, make or break. If we blow this one, we can forget it.
Yeah,
call it. Tony, how are they doing?
Yeah, before we faced them, or since the last time, they've gotten one more win, and they're pretty much going on. They're streaking at the right time now. At that point, let me just segue it to Bam to tell you how much they're on par right now.
So
right,
the last game was RSL at home. It was a bloodbath. 6-1. The highlights of the game, Mora scored in the 27th minute. Asprilla scored in the 36th minute. Kralic got one back for RSL in the 41st minute. 48th minute, Yumi Chara scored a goal. 68th minute, his brother scored a goal. 85th minute, Niz Goda scored a goal. And in the 88th minute, Paredes scored a goal. They had 6 different goal scorers for the whole game. That's just unheard of. As for the key stats for the game, key stats were as follow. Possession, RSL had ball possession 56-41. Shots on goal, RSL had more, 18-16, but both had 9 on goal. Crosses, Portland had 13, RSL had 22. Corners, 7 corners each. Fouls, Portland 14-9 with 1 yellow for Portland and 2 yellows for RSL. Total team expected goals. RSL had 1.7. Portland had 2.1. They tripled their expected goals.
That would be called efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So to say they're in form would be an understatement.
Just a little.
All right. So, Bam, thank you for the last match update. That's pretty much all we have to know about their run of form. Of course, the next thing we got to know about is what are they going to come out with against us? Do they have anybody missing, Bam?
They've got a couple of injuries, but they've all been long-term injuries, so it's the same injuries as missing from their last game against us. So,
got it.
Etiella,
so
Jerome, Williamson, Polo.
So the only guy back is Bill Tuiloma compared to the last time we played.
Yep.
Got it. Do you think he's a starter?
Be surprised if he's not.
There it is. So let's talk about who they are because we know who they are. Goalkeeper Steve Clark, left back Claudio Bravo, Dario Zuparic and Laris Mabiala, center back, right back Jose Van Rankin or Bill Tuiloma, depending on who's available. But honestly, Jose Van Rankin's been playing lights out for them since coming back in the lineup. So it'd be a hard one for Tuiloma to break. We'll see what happens there. That's the mystery spot. Chara and Paredes as your defensive mids, possibly Fochive instead of Paredes. I don't think that's going to be the case. Asprilla is your left mid, your right mid, Jimmy Chara, Sebastian Blanco anchoring that midfield, right? That's what we expect. Up top, Mora, who's having one heck of a season. Who's coming off the bench again? Fochive, for sure. Zach McGraw as a defender, potentially. Yaroslav Niezgoda as a striker. He's been playing good in the moments he's had. So there you go. And, of course, Diego Fileri, the signed on, agreed upon super sub for the rest of the season. He's agreed to it himself. Giovanni Zavarese even talked about that he's taken on that role and he's cool with it. So, yeah, that's a nice sub to have off the bench. Then Marvin Loria, Santiago Moreno, Renzo Zambrano. That's who you got. That's where their team's at. So they're full strength. There are some like injuries, but not impactful injuries. This is what they got. They're strong. They're ready to go, and they're flying. This is going to be a hard one for us. If it wasn't already, they're streaking. Yay. All right. So question of this is going to be, of course, us. What are we going to field? What are we going to play with? What is our system going to be? Is it going to be the same thing that we saw in the last match? Are there going to be changes? Bam. Play the Bob. What are you going to do here?
The biggest change I can see us doing is if Atuesta's feeling healthy, he's starting. Or have him over Christostomos. I can see going off our last game. I can hopefully see Duke starting if Atuesta's not healthy. So Duke's got to come in. Would like to see Jennings come in, but I reckon we'll play the two up front like we have been lately with B-Rod and Chicho. So to me, I don't see a lot changing, but I do see just a couple of little things depending on players' health.
Yeah, I think with Musovski and B-Rod, I think B-Rod should be back for this one. Be shocked if he's not back in the lineup for this one. So, yeah, B-Rod Arango lineup, that is what it is. That's who we've got in the moment. Cifuentes, of course, he's going to... I know he took a yellow card, but I think he's still eligible. And then Janela, if Janela doesn't start, it's surprising. The story is Cristosomo and Atuesta. Like, if Atuesta's ready, I pray he's been shelved just for this match. If he is, then we're in a good place. So I agree with you there. My question for all of you, and I'll throw it to Tony, left wing back. Or what do you want to call that position Palacios was trying to play last time? Does he get the start? Does Edwards get the start? Does Farfan get the start? I know. We're shuffling guys. None of us want to see start in the moment, but that's who we got. So, Tony, who do you go with?
I go with Palacios just because he's more comfortable in that spot. I don't know. I think I'd rather use Edwards as a super sub with energy, because it does help us in the long run. Because I'd rather him use that energy to like build us back up if we're down and stuff like that. Palacios will hopefully get back into form, but again, if we put Farfan in there, everyone already knows how they feel about him, and he's still pretty green at the moment and doesn't know how to go up and stuff like that. So we will just have another defender. So why even run the left back system with a 5 if we're gonna do that?
There it goes. Cool. So right wing back, is it going to be Kim? Or is there anybody else?
No.
Unless they go 4 in the back and throw Ebiago over there, but that ain't happening. So it's hard. Like, we're talking about how much change we want, and then we look at the lineup and go, well, what are you going to do? Not much to see. Bam said it as well. It's really hard to figure it out. Of course, depending on health. We know Vela's earliest game back is going to be the Galaxy game, so maybe we see him on the weekends. So this is B-Rod's chance, right, to get a little bit of momentum going into it. Subs off the bench, I think Musovski and Jennings are kind of like your lock. They'll probably be in the lineup at some point. What about the new kid? The new kid that we got. I know I was blank on their names, but he wasn't even listed at the last match, was he?
No, he wasn't.
And
see,
maybe as a sub.
I think as a sub, we might see Vela for 10 minutes. You don't want Vela. I'm more. You don't want Vela to come fresh off straight into Carson. Give him 10, 15 minutes and go from there.
I think he's a super sub against Carson. That's my take. He's a Carson super sub. He gets the Valeri role for that game. Well, we'll talk about that on Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, in this case, again, the lineup, we're very limited as to what we have as options right now. It just is. Duke, man. Duke needs more time. He just does. That's my take. Jason, any thoughts on it? Do you think there's going to be any switch up, or it's more of the same?
Yeah, I think you're right. Hopefully B-Rod's back. I just want to see them show up to this game. I mean, I think, being home, I think it's going to help out a lot, being back at the bank. But yeah, like I said, Saturday's game, it was just so disappointing just to see, the way they were playing. But I think they're going to come back strong. I really saw the young players really seemed upset losing. I don't know. Somebody got a yellow card when the game ended. It looked like
Edwards.
Okay. But I just want to see some fight. Just want to see, I mean, it would be cool to see maybe Blackman in goal. Our new goal. I hate saying, we've been waiting for a goalie. I mean, we haven't. It's tough, the goaltending situation. And I don't want to blame it on Romero. I don't think these goals have been Romero's fault. Not at all. Sometimes a goalie change may make up the other team. The team, the fellow teammates. But man, I wish we could have a healing service and heal all these guys that are injured. And even with Vela coming back, I don't know. He just doesn't seem the old Vela as he was in 2019. I think even if he did come back, I don't think there'd be a big difference on this team right now. I'm going to say it as it is. I don't see him making a big difference on this team right now. I mean, he just doesn't seem to. I mean, the last 2 years, he just doesn't seem like the old Vela. I mean, yeah, he's done great for this team. The history, I mean, he's going to go down in history as one of our greats. But yeah, I mean, I also agree with Moon not being in the back. I think Bam said being at the mid. I think that's what he plays like. I mean, he's supposed to be a defender, but how often do we see him like in the offensive box? Like he's up front attacking, and I mean, he does a great job at it. But what sucks sometimes he's not in the back when we're being attacked. All of a sudden, we're kind of a man short back there in the backfield. So I've noticed that's happened a couple times.
Partially system, still more stable than Blessing back there.
Sure.
Yeah.
What that's worth. But yeah, we've got some issues. Our back line is our weakest thing. That's for certain. No doubt about that. Even with their full lineup, it's their weakest thing we got right now. So hard takes for sure. We'll see how this plays out. No shock. Let's bring it out to everybody else. See where the panel is at on this conversation. So I'll throw this one out that way. Moving on. Here we go. Junior jumps on. Portland's efficiency is scary. The team, not so much. Maybe. Ox, Junior, we can beat them. Last night only beat us because all the missed opportunities. Yeah, I mean, that was the story. Ox says he needs to start Jennings over Moose. I think they both need to sit. No, but yeah, Jennings needs a shot. I still think that's the case. Palacios is the best left back we have.
100%.
Yeah, I agree, Marvin, but it ain't saying much, and he is really not playing well right now. There's all bad things from him. I don't see much, honestly, defensively at all from him. Yes, he does some things offensively, but there is nothing going on defensively. Ox, Palacios with the start. Yeah, he'll probably get the start. Moose seems best when he's a sub at the 70th minute. Dude, he's been killer as a sub. That's for sure. Agreed. Junior, limping LAFC team is still better than 70% of all the MLS clubs. We're not losing because other teams are better. Almost every loss is due to our shortcomings. Our turnovers, our bad play. But at the end of the day, that's our play. That's the sport.
Yeah.
Do the job.
Yeah.
So we're not better than 70% because we're not doing the job. It's that simple. The points don't lie. We are there because we deserve to be there. Straight up. Thank you, Marvin. Why did, weird. Mishi Ingalina is the name of the new player. We'll see. He's an offensive talent. What happens there? From what I understood, he could play up top. He could also be a left wing. So if we do go to 4-3-3, he can actually function under that. So we'll see what happens there. Hooligan Ox, what about the goalie situation? Are we sitting with Romero or are going to give Blackman a shot? Bam, you touch on that, man.
I want to see Blackburn have a shot, but at the same time, though, I want to see Romero stay in between the goals. It's a hard one. I want to see the youth develop and have great runs, but at the same time, though, there's got to be a point where you got to turn around and go, nah, give someone else a shot. So to me, it's a coin flip at the moment. For this game, I think Bob just goes in, flip a coin, heads Romero stays, tails goes to Blackman.
Tough. Townie?
I say with Romero, just keep the consistency. That's the one thing we lack as long as we've had goalkeepers in the back. We've always lacked that consistency. If the only time I say put Blackman in is if we're officially out of the playoffs, and then have him have the starts to see what we have with him. But other than that, just keep it with Romero and just keep the consistency going until we're out. Then put Blackman in. But until then, Romero 100%.
There it is. Puck.
I think I talked about Blackman earlier too. It would be cool to see, but I don't want to ruin Romero's confidence because like we've all agreed, most of these goals have not been his fault. I mean, our defense is Swiss cheese, and you can't blame him for these goals. He must be fresh. I mean, he's a kid too. I mean, he's 20 years old as a goalkeeper. That is like unheard of in any league. I mean, even MLS. I mean, most teams, the goalkeeper is usually the oldest player on the team, and he's a kid.
Sure.
I mean, you even look at like World Cups teams. Usually, the oldest player on the team is the goalkeeper. I mean, there was some of the German clubs. I know Joseph would know that the teams that won the World Cup, the goalkeeper was a 38-year-old. Yeah, there we go, 38-year.
It's your unofficial captain, or sometimes your official captain, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the guy with the most voice out there. He's got to know. He sees everything that others can't, and he's on the field. So there's leadership required. That's why a young keeper usually doesn't get the shot, because they need the leadership out there. That's the truth.
Blackman is really tall. That guy is. I know you guys saw a picture. Huge. I think Blessing put a picture of him and like at the airport. Like the size difference. Blessing just standing next to him. Blessing just looked like a little. I mean, I'm a shorter guy too, so. But you could tell Blessing was having fun taking that picture of him being next to someone who was over a foot taller than him.
So, like, real talk on this, and I'm sticking with Romero. One, the backline needs stability. They do. They're unstable now. On top of being gaff prone, you're going to throw a guy they don't know where he's going to be or communicate in a competitive situation. It's one thing to be in training with a goalkeeper, but this is a game. This is real. It's his first moments. You're going to put him in front of the north end where he doesn't hear anything and nobody really knows how to communicate in that moment. That's I don't know about that. If you're playing RSL on the road, maybe. If you're playing a lower team, yeah, that makes sense. But at the bank, in the madness, you'd rather have a guy that's used to the madness, that's feeling it, and trying to get other guys stable. Again, stability is key. I think against Portland, it's not going to happen. I think against the Galaxy, it's not going to happen. I think, playing a Dallas side, yeah, right? I think that's when you might see him. Something a little more manageable for us, but not these two matches. I just don't. Not this week. I don't think it's going to happen. Next week, maybe. Let's see. Moving forward, Junior's joking that I'm going to be starting in the pipes. Romero off the bench when I get tired after 5 minutes. Hey, man, I can't count that many years back as to when was the last time I played competitively in goal. So there you go. Marvin says disagree. I think Romero is to blame a lot. The defense, of course, just all around not good. It's opinions. It's opinions on that. He didn't head the ball back. He didn't leave a guy open after it clanks off the post. I don't know. I can't see him doing much else under that. I don't. Hooligan Ox. I'd go with that, Junior. Yeah, he's laughing. Yeah, I know. I love you guys. No doubt about that. It's all in good fun. They all know I used to play, and they know I'm all busted up now. So there goes that. Hooligan Ox, I agree with Marvin. Romero has been caught off play when the goals happen. Rewatch some of the highlights to see Romero standing, still not going for the ball. Again, chances. Did you even have a shot at it? Yeah, it's all bad. How many yellow and red cards are we going to see this Wednesday? I don't think you're going to see any red cards unless Chara decides to break somebody up. That would be your most likely choice, is a Chara going out. A Chara. Could be either Chara. I don't think any of us go out unless Raheem finally loses it late in the game, pushes a ref or something, gets mad. But no, I think it's just a lot of yellow cards getting collected. The refs don't want to dictate these games late in the season. They're going to let them play it rough. You're going to get mad at the challenges. That's for sure. Carlos C, give Duke the start. Blessing doesn't look 100%. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm good with that.
Same.
I'm good with that. Mitchie, do we need to see him at all last week? I thought he would play and didn't. I think home cooking might be good for a substitution role. If we're in this thing, you might see him play. Again, this is a USL player doing really good. Jennings was a USL player doing really good. There's no promise it equates to MLS in a pressure situation. There's trust that has to be built, as always. Blackman too slow. The goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen some highlights. I've seen some stuff, some write-ups about him, and they don't really talk about him being poor. They're just like, he doesn't have an option because everyone else is better than him in the moment. That's always the conversation with him. He's not a weak player. He just doesn't have the opportunity here. That's been his story. So this is here we go. Right, here's a team that does have some instability, so maybe he gets his moment. Marvin, I think we are past Romero's confidence. He had a lot of chances. He's too young. We need to try Blackman or give Cisnega a shot again. Fair enough. Wolfan, hey Wolf, good stuff. Checking in. Cortez, what was our defense last year? Healthier.
Yeah.
Dude, Segura to me is the big story. He's the anchor. He's the guy that keeps it all together. Fall doesn't play right now. It would be Murillo and Palacios. Or I mean Murillo and Segura in the middle, Palacios on the left, on the right side. Could be Blackman, could be Blessing last year, right?
Yeah.
Those two are the guys getting the most minutes last year on that side. So they're both not really capable of that right now because of injuries, and I think Blessing's moved on, different roles. And then you bring in a guy for a lot of money, a decent amount of dough to bring in Kim Won, and he's had his moments, good stuff, bad stuff, but right now not really locking it down. So that's why our defense is where our outside backs aren't doing the job. Palacios hasn't been good as he has been in the past. I mean, what he did against the Liga MX sides in the tournament was lights out. That's why he got an award for that. But we haven't seen that yet from him this year. So step up, right? I think that's the issue with our back line.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Carlos C. I'm sticking with Romero too at this point. His name makes similar mistakes, and isn't Blackman a young guy too? He's like 27, I believe. He's not that young. Yeah, he's not young. I mean, he's. This is the age when you're supposed to start breaking into starting roles. That's like the normal age when you get your shot, So maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't. Against Portland, it's a tough ask for a new goalkeeper. 26 says Marvin. Okay. Vela is set to return this Sunday. Should some minutes again rust off, like 20 minutes, 25. Jason, I think you're in the right realm. Is not a full 90, but definitely sub. Cortez, Romero is not a good goalie. I disagree. It's our opinions on that. I think he's a good goalkeeper without a defense. That's my take. And of course, David's also saying take Bob out. Again, our opinions on that. It's just what's next. What's after that? What are you going to do? Put it in an interim and just call it a season? Because if you are moving the coach, you're calling a season. That's expected. And they'll play
Yeah.
the same system. It's not going to change.
I don't see us getting rid of Bob this late in the season unless it's guaranteed we're not making it. And it's like, okay, Bob, make an official announcement. He's not coming back next year. He can stay for the rest of the season if he wants. If he wants to leave now, he can leave now. It'll be put more on his shoulders. Until then, Bob out shouldn't even be in the conversation. It's no. Until we're guaranteed out of playoffs, Bob stays.
And I think it's a matter of respect. 2 years ago, we're lifting the shield. This is the man that built the squad in the first place. It got us to that. He's the guy. Him and Thornton built this team and got us all spoiled the first 2 years. And then COVID took out that next season, right? And now we're here. I just don't think, out of respect to Bob, they're going to do it. They're not, unless Thornton's job's on the line. It's not happening. It's not happening. They'll let him finish it out. His contract ends this year, and he has that choice to see if we want him back or not. It's an easy walk away at that point, right? Graceful for everyone. Everybody saves face, and they call it. And they have a whole off season to retool. But with a few games left, 8 games left, yeah, the only reason you do that is you're really getting blown out every week, and we're not getting blown out every week, or you're out of the playoffs. That's why Dallas made the move, because it doesn't mean anything anymore. You can get used to who he's got. You're moving on. But as long as you're in the race, you're in the race. They're not going to make changes. Jason Lemus, who do you guys returning Wednesday besides Vela, B-Rod, Atuesta, Blackman? I think the only guys we get to see back is really B-Rod and Atuesta. I think is who we get to see this time. And then Sundays, Saturday. The weekend is the story on who really gets back. Vela coming back if we make the playoffs. No, he's coming back. He's going to be back. He will be back before this season's out. No doubt about that. Lemus says, key for me is Chicho scoring on Wednesday. I think he gets back to his scoring ways. No doubt about that. Yeah. I think he's back in the mix. Aboy818, done for the season. How long did it take for him to get into rhythm this last time? I mean, he'll play. I don't know what we're going to get out of him, but he'll play. That's the thing. I don't know. We don't know with Vela. He's Vela. He's an interesting fella. That's for sure. Marvin Chaz says, heard it would cost us a lot more money to sack him before the season's end, so no point. Exactly. It's a moot point. He's not going anywhere. They're going to let him go. Why do a buyout at this point? It doesn't make any sense. And why pay for 2 coaches? Carlos C. Bob stays through the season. Too late for that now, at least until the team is officially out of the playoffs. Agreed. Yeah. There we go. Hooligan Hawks. No, I meant the Vela we're used to seeing. Oh, no, I think the old Vela is the old Vela. It's good for the history books and something to be very, very happy about that what we had from him. But his role changes going forward. He hasn't been healthy in 2 seasons. He just hasn't. He hasn't been there. We want him there. We love the guy, but yeah, it's hard to see, but that's the nature of the game. Jason, another key for Wednesday and Sunday, can't have another ping pong effect goal against in the box, better clearances, sacrifice some bodies, throw down. Exactly. Keep it simple. Hit it out of bounds if you have to. I don't care if it looks ugly. Just get the job done. Portland doesn't care if it's ugly. They always play ugly.
When in doubt, kick it out. When in doubt, kick it out.
Simple. I don't care how it looks. It's fine by me. I'm good with it. Just get the job done. Tony, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. You don't head it to the center. You literally don't have anything. Just kick it to the fucking ends and just deal with it then and have everyone back in defense. Don't do that.
Yeah. Carlos, Chicho needs better service. Didn't get any good looks against San Jose. I think Duke will help with that. I agree, man. So what a Tuesta. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Marvin, I'll be an optimist today. If Vela gets his contract on Saturday, he'll be back about 80%. Vela, not the 30%. Vela, we've been pay the man. I don't, here's my take. I don't pay people for past performance. Is what they're going to give me. Right? Jersey sales is one thing, but jersey sales dwindle if a guy can't perform. Even if it's Vela. Yeah. Bam. You want to chomp at this one. Go for it.
To me, I can see obviously at the moment we need one new DP next year. Rossi's gone. He's gone. He ain't coming back. If he's doing what he's doing at the moment, he's gone. So one definitely new DP. Out of the last 2 DPs, B-Rod, Vela, I can see us keeping one, getting rid of the other. Me personally, I see us keeping B-Rod. He's younger. He's got we can sell him on. To me, he's come back better than before he left. When he went to Spain, he realized, holy shit, I've got to knuckle down. I've got to behave myself, and he's starting to show a bit of that. So to me, with his sell on is a lot better than Vela sell on.
Good take. Good take. Tony, your take on Vela?
Honestly, take a book out of Portland and be a super sub. And that's the best way, because I don't see the way he plays. The only other player I've seen in his age who played still at that top notch was Cuauhtémoc Blanco, and for sure he's no Cuauhtémoc Blanco at all. So just either we for sure need a one DP, we keep B-Rod, and then we'll see who we bring in for Rossi, because we're not getting him back, unfortunately. But fortunately.
No. There it is. So, guys, I would say I wouldn't look too far down the line. We have a game on Wednesday and Sunday. These two games decide our season. They really do. They decide all of our futures in this, because if they lose both games, that could be your bob out moment, because the season's toast at that point. It could be a rest Vela moment, because, well, do we really need him anymore? Season's done. These two games are everything. Don't look past it. This is it. We got to get the result now. Other things I'm seeing, of course, Hooligan Ox keeping it simple, right? Apply the KISS method. Kick the ball, give it away. Mr. Cortez is saying, do you think Vela wants to leave? I think Vela wants more money. I think that's all Vela wants. Honestly, I think he's pining for a better contract, so he's talking in the media. That's normal. That's normal. 80% Vela is worth it. Yes, if it's 80% of the current pay rate. That's my take. Hooligan Ox, I'd like to see another veteran signing of a striker. We need reinforcements. Yeah, we need some change. Marvin Chavez, I think y'all underselling Vela. He's just not happy. Make him happy. He'll be great again. Maybe not 2019 100% Vela, but I think he's still an elite starter. He hasn't been able to put continual minutes for 2 years now. Right? Yeah. The year we won the Supporter Shield, he was just playing healthy. He wasn't getting knocked out all the time. He was healthy. I haven't seen it from him. Maybe he just needs a normal off season. We'll see. But I do think he wants to come back. Just, again, the right price is the story. Personally, if I can get another young player that can do something, or even a vet player from maybe Liga MX that wants to come over here that can produce at a regular level, I'm bringing him, right? New blood, you keep moving. But we'll see what happens. If Carlos wants to come back, he'd be an idiot not to take him back, right? I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Jason might need Romero to make an epic save, create a spark, wake up the whole team. It's in him. It's definitely in him. Or a penalty stop. Who knows? 2020 barely played because of COVID and his wife pregnant. 2021 he barely played too. Yeah, but when he did play, he got hurt against the Galaxy, and that was that. And then he came back okay in the tournament, but good in the tournament. I mean, he was healthy at the moment. So, and then came back this year, and it's been off and on, nagging injuries. The life of an over 30 player. It's tough. It's tough. We'll see. A whole off season? Who knows? A healthy, normal off season. Yeah, could be what we need from him.
If we're going to keep Vela next year, if we lose the next two games and are out of the playoffs, do we just bench him so he can recover for the rest of the season?
Nah. If he can play, he plays. If he can play, he plays. At that point, you're tooling your team for next year. That guys get minutes, but also guys get healthy, and they use those minutes to get a little bit normal again. So yeah, you're not going to rush a guy if he's not 100%, but if he's right, he's right. He plays. Why not? Why not? Hooligan Ox, Carlos just enjoying his beach vacations. He's waiting for the Lakers season. You know how it is. Yeah, Mark, Vela gave us a good CCL run. Can't forget that. Nope. That was a good run from him, but then after is this. So, yeah, it's tough. Carlos C., all for re-signing Vela at the right price. Sphinx Vids jumps in. I think we need to keep Vela. the elite quality veteran is something we need to keep as a constant because everyone else needs, and else will be kids. We need a true fighting, physical, defensive midfielder. Again, I want a destroyer too. A destroyer in the middle would make my life a lot happier for mid. That would be good. It's injuries though. I know there's injuries. Like it's yeah. And then Cortez, final take. We need a different coach with a lot of South American players. We got a lot of them. A ton of them. But, yeah. Jason, 6 most important points on the line. Die in that pitch, as us supporters again. Get it. Get the 6. Get it back to life. I love it, Jason. You know, we're going to put our time in. Mark Lopez thought Carlos C was Carlos V. Too funny. Hooligan Ox. I'll give Vela props for what he gave us, but it might be time for another signing to replace him. We'll see. You know, again, if he wants to be back and the price is good, everybody's happy, he comes back. I don't think he wants to leave. I don't. I really don't. You got to realize he came here knowing that Bob was the guy. Bob was a selling point for him. There's a good relationship. It's not a bad one. It's a good one. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Again, happy from everybody today throwing their takes and being honest about what they believe at this point of the season, being real about it, being tough about it. That's a good thing. That's a healthy thing. Have all the takes you want. It's good. It's your opinion. You pay your money to go to those games. You take the time to watch this team. You earn your opinion. There's no doubt about that. And for you to share with us, super cool. Good stuff. All right. So tradition dictates. You guys are getting a good laugh in here. Bam, what are you laughing about, man? What's going on up there? What did he do? Who's sleeping? We got a sleeper? That's hilarious. You all right there, Jason? Can you hear us, man?
You're muted.
You're muted, my friend. Dang.
I've been awake since 2:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude. All right. So that means, Jason, you get the final thought, and then we'll move on to the next one. So it's your turn. Final thought, sir.
All right. Final thought. Keep the faith. We're going to, if we do it, I mean, making the playoffs would be huge, but if we don't, stay faithful to this team. Don't jump onto another bandwagon. Don't start, it drives me crazy when people jump from team to team. Just stay faithful. That's all I got to say. Stay faithful.
Thank you, man. All right. Let's see. Bam, it's your turn.
Punk, thanks for coming on the show. Been a long day for you. I've been seeing on social media people are already saying not going this week to the midweek game, selling my tickets, blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. This is when the team really needs you in the stands. If you got tickets and you can make it. We're there to support the boys on the pitch. You know, it's 2 tough games this week coming up. We need the 6 points. The best way for us to get 6 points is to have a full bank rocking, singing along, chanting along, being that 12th man that we need. So for that, get out there. Let's get the 3 points. Let's show them why LA is LA.
There we go. Well said, Bam. That's that. Keeping the faith. That's essential. Essential. Tony, your take, my friend.
If, like I said, last time people were saying they wanted to sell their tickets, we had a 4-0 win, 4-0 win against SKC, and it was such a great game against it. So if you don't want to go, hey, again, more people to come see the show that we all love to see every day. If you, like I said, this is where supporters are supporters, and you support the team through the good and the bad. Unfortunately, we've had a bad season. It's no fun, but it's our team. We support them no matter what. If they're good, if they're bad, we're going to be there 100% of the time. And those people are just fake weather fans at the moment. But just go out there, sing, support them. let's try to get those 3 points and then focus on Carson next.
That's the key. One at a time. That's why we're not getting too much into Carson this week. It's not the story. The story is Wednesday, getting revenge against Portland, moving on, showing your faith, being there. So my final take again is always be faithful to your club. Always fight for your club. Whether we like what we see is going on or not, you still got to be there for them. These are the players that we have. This is the talent that we have. These are the guys that we have to push. You can either tear them down or you can build them up. That's your call. As a supporter, you build them up. That's what we do. We be there. We're always there. We're going to be strong. I guarantee you 32-52 will be rocking this Wednesday, no matter what's going on the field. They're still going to give it because when times are tough, we just get louder. For the rest of the stadium, join in the madness. We need you in this. We need everyone in this. Just want something you can sing, do it. If it's a call to arms, get your phone on, get the light on. Let's go. Let's rock. They need home advantage. This is a playoff game. Treat it. It's a blackout. Without a doubt. So be there, get loud, do it. We'll be back on Thursday to preview the Carson match. That'll be our chance to get into that. But for this moment, in this time, beat Portland. Nothing else matters. Just beat Portland. So on that note, I'm going to throw it back to the guys. You guys ready to call this a day?
Yep.
Nodding the head. Good night, Jason Ariano.
All right.
Yeah,
Good night,
there we are.
everyone.
Good
All
night.
right, on 3, 1, 2, 3, stay
Stay
Cold.
golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.